Everybody, this is Sister Omi. I hope everyone is doing well. I hope everyone is safe. I hope everyone is looking out for yourself and your loved ones. They call it social distancing, but I see it more as physical distancing. So keep in touch with your loved ones and just, if you could do something for someone, do it, you know? And if that means like you have an elder or someone next to you that can't get to the store, I understand social distancing, but physically maybe you could go to the store and maybe leave a bag of groceries at their door. So anything you could do to help someone, please do. Now, with all that said, this is the new moon in Taurus. We got the new moon in Taurus, and we got a full moon in Scorpio that's coming up. So this new moon in Taurus on April 23rd is also the beginning of Ramadan. And what I think interesting is it takes a lot of discipline to eat before sun up, and then again at sundown. And Taurus is definitely a disciplined sign, right? They're very disciplined. They're grounded. You know, everyone has different elements. I know everyone is not the same, but we're talking about the Taurus energy itself, not an individual. Okay, so let's be clear on that. So at this new moon, this particular reading is for the sign of Scorpio. So Scorpio, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through the messages that have been received, and we'll pull everything in from there. And we're starting with the chakra card, and I got the soul star chakra. Now this is the chakra that is 6 inches above the crown. This is what bridges the light of the soul and the physical body. You know, your physical and your spiritual connection. So what's good if you're into meditation to focus on maybe a clear crystal? Let's see. This is kind of clear. You know, clear. Oh, excuse me. Like a clear crystal. Or if you just want to pray, just think of maybe like the white light, something clear, translucent. And when we think about this particular chakra, that connection, we think about the angels and the divine masters, universal light, the soul healing, the cosmos, the creator, source. It's what connects us physically and spiritually to that particular energy. And pulling this card, it's the divine light. It's within each and one of us. It's powerful knowledge and wisdom of the cosmos. So we're being encouraged, or Scorpio, you're being encouraged at this time to maybe take some time and meditate and tap into that divine wisdom. And if you've been searching for answers and guidance from the source outside yourself, it is time you look inward. It's time to tune in, to connect and become aware of the divine wisdom that is within you at this particular time. So it's a time to flex your heart and listen to the divine wisdom and see exactly what it has to offer you at this time. So this is your overall vibration for this new moon in Taurus, and we have the full moon in your sign, Scorpio, right? So with this Taurus new moon, what I think is interesting, because what I see here, this fire, you got some fire, you got something, some primal spiritual determination, all these things that we think of fire. Whatever this is you've been thinking about or working on is being illuminated at this time. So what I think is so interesting at this Taurus new moon, now this could be the energy coming into the new moon. Now, what have you been wanting, or what idea, what have you been working on, what have you been thinking about that that pot of gold, literally, and it could be just a good idea or the way you see things. At this new moon, whatever this idea is it something that's going to, if it's something that's going to work or change on your finances, this is a good time. If you have a bright idea to help change your finances, this is a good time to do it. This is also a good time to think about what you value. Is that what's being illuminated? Now, this is a general reading. I'm not going to tell you this man, this girl, you're going to win something. I'm just going to tell you what the vibration is. I'll leave that kind of stuff for someone else. But right now, whatever you have been cultivating deep down inside is being illuminated at this time. So with this Taurus energy, this is a good time to maybe work on bringing this into fruition, or work on the ground level, getting that ground, that foundation of this idea to start putting it into place. It's also a good time to tap into that divine wisdom, because this is like being illuminated and tapping into some divine wisdom, taking some quiet time for yourself to tap into yourself and see how you could create what it is that you want at this particular time. And now, well, this is followed up by the Ace of Swords. Now, being that way this Three of Fire is illuminated, now in the traditional Rider-Waite deck, you see the Ace of Swords being handed like a blessing. A blessing is being handed to you. But you see this? You're being asked to, you're being asked to pick up that blessing and move forward with your idea. This will help you prosper and increase your assets, tapping into that divine wisdom and having some faith. It's like you're being asked to pick up the mantle here. It's not being handed to you. You have the idea. It's like the light is all around it. So, are you going to pick it up and move forward? Or are you going to let it sit there? This Taurus new moon is a good time to start doing that groundwork, even like I said, because swords is of the mind. So, even if you are if you're not moving forward, you're mapping out your plan. You're putting steps into action. You're going to be letting the universe know what you want at this particular time. Pick up your mantle, Scorpio. Now, what I find is interesting, we got the Devil card here. Now, I don't know if they keep saying devils associated with Capricorn. That could be. But the way this reading is going here, I see this Devil card. It's encouraging you to stay above board. Don't get into no traps of your ego. Don't fall into no get-rich-quick scheme. This is encouraging you to do the proper work. This is encouraging you. Make sure that you don't get too wrapped up in your own mind and get outside of your head. Maybe you need to call up friends. Maybe you need to bounce your ideas off someone who's more level-headed. This is encouraging you to maybe tap into your physical wellness. Maybe you should think about what you're eating. With this soul star card, making sure that you're drinking proper, good clean water to help with good clean thoughts, because you don't want to fall susceptible to ego and get rich schemes. So I would encourage you with this card, the way this is lined up here, so that you don't fall into a sense of bondage here. I would say definitely take care of your body, drinking a lot of good clean water, talking to people who are of you would think, because Scorpio, you could go deep, so you don't have shallow relationships, and for the most part you don't really have shallow conversations. So someone that is at the same mental caliber as you, because you know they're gonna check you in their own way. So, and even with that, this is also a good time to educate yourself, and in a sense of maybe unlearning maybe there were some beliefs or things that you were taught that keeps you from really tapping into this divine wisdom here. Because remember now, this is the overall reading, and this divine wisdom is that higher, that connection between the physical and the spiritual. So maybe this is that blockage that you need to work on. So clean water, making sure you're talking to the same person. Because if you pick this with this bright idea that's being illuminated, all you got to do is pick it up and move forward. And don't let yourself fall susceptible to the manure. Okay? And that could be your own manure. It don't have to be somebody else's. And then what we have here, the Three of Air. So maybe there was some heartbreak or something, and maybe that's what this devil was. It was something that was discouraging, but this heartbreak, and we're getting ready to think of it going into that Scorpio full moon, where this is about digging deep into your emotions. This is about not dealing with shallow relationships, or even looking at your own self in a more in-depth way. If you got, maybe this devil card was some bad news. Maybe you got some bad news, or maybe something didn't quite work the way you wanted it to, and you may feel a little disheartened right here with this 3 here. But at the same time, there is a ray of hope here, because 3 in itself is about flourishing, it's about abundance, it's about harmony. And so this really, for you, even though it may be some heartbreak, maybe all of this now at the full moon in Scorpio is about emotional exchanges. So maybe for some, this is about just speaking your truth about anything you may have experienced. Maybe it's just about healing from grief. Maybe there was some grief. Maybe through all of this, maybe your that bright idea, all these things were building too, but for you to move forward, you're going to have to express that emotion. And once you do, you probably feel so much lighter. Once you do, you'll probably even tap into more of that divine wisdom that is available to you. So this full moon in your sign is an emotional exchange. So you might have to let someone have it, like, yo, I'm tired of the manure, and you need to know how I feel, because this is not going to go on. And once you release that at the full moon in your sign, it's like, whoa, you really can tap into that divine wisdom. You see how the knowledge is like coming out that book, that light, it's going to be refreshing. Even though these flowers are like wilting, and we're going into May, so some of these flowers we're going to start blooming. And what's going to start blooming is the seeds and things that you're looking at this new moon. By the time you get to the full moon and dump the excess, dump what you don't need, so that you can go ahead, pick up your sword. And this full moon is dumping what you don't need. Now, if it's your ego, maybe it is a person or something that you're dealing with, or just a state of mind. And maybe that's what the divine wisdom is, illuminating maybe it's some of your thoughts. And talking to maybe someone that you feel is at your caliber mentally will be able to illuminate for you. So whatever, usually in the traditional deck, you see this as the heart with the 3 blades into it. But I like this because this flower is wilting right now. And once you get rid of that emotional baggage and start watering your flowers, May, the sun is coming up, the flowers start to bloom, this is going to change. But it's up to you. So, I also, if you don't know now, you know, as they say. Like for me, everything is in nature. What I think is interesting, you got the trigonic quartz, which is clear. This is maybe something you should be using as your focal point. If you're into meditation, quiet meditation, or just something you picture in your mind as you're sitting in quiet contemplation. But this is regarding your soul's code, and that's what this is about. I think this is about expanding your awareness, restructuring your physical and subtle bodies, your beliefs, and your realities. That's what this is. Get rid of the manure, the restructuring. And you're picking up your sword, and part of picking up that sword to get to your ideas, you're going to be cutting the devil away so that your flowers can grow. So also with this, just remain honest to achieve your success. Your soul provides everything you need for your well-being. And that's what this is. That physical, spiritual connection is there for you to tap into. And this is to encourage you to tap into that. Now, as you know, I truly do believe everything is in nature. And I have the dove tree. The dove tree is about blessings. Love and tenderness prepare you to enjoy the benefits of a new opportunity. Blessings. That opportunity is your idea. Pick up your blessing. And when you pick up that knife, cut the manure away for your flowers to grow. Because there's just blessings that are in store for you, and you could tap into this wisdom, that divine wisdom. Scorpio, I want to encourage you to pick up your sword and move forward. Pick up your sword, cut away what you don't need, because you need things of substance. Cut it away. If it's a relationship, if it's this, if it's that, if it's this, whatever, let it go. And let your garden grow. Woo! No more I can say on that. But please, please, let me know what you think. Write a comment down below. Like, share, subscribe. And give me a thumbs up. This is Sister Omi. Peace.